A lot of things happening on NFL Primetime. First of all, ho, ho, ho. Second of all, happy Hanukkah to those celebrating. Third of all, happy first day of winter if you really like it. And so now, after all those formalities around Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, your chimney cleaned?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Because it's a busy night for the big guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's only a couple of nights.
He can come down on us.
All right, well, that's good. You know what? It's been a busy October, November, December. Way back at the end of September, late September, when you should be back at school, Baltimore lost the game.
That's right.
It was to the Cleveland Browns. Could they win 11 in a row and clinch the whole ball of wax? That's how we're going to start. We got Sunday and Saturday games. We're going to put it all in perspective for you. The Ravens trying to avenge. Well, they're a different team than when they lost to Cleveland. But early on, Baker Mayfield Browns against maybe MVP Lamar Jackson. It was 6-0. Cleveland for 28 minutes, and then all of a sudden, Lamar Jackson to Mark Ingram, 24 yards. Here come the Ravens hurrying up. 2-minute drill, minute and a half. Jackson. And what a find he's been. Mark Andrews, wide open, 7-6. Baltimore looked listless for a half, Tom.
28 minutes.
Yep, and now they're up. But Cleveland, I mean, they're trying to move the ball, but incomplete, and then on third down, knocked down. And so, rather than the half running out, the Ravens are going to get the ball again with $1:02 to go. Browns frustrated. We're mathematically alive going into the day, but you really didn't feel like it with them. And then Jackson, I want some justice. So they gave it to Justice Hill, 14 yards. Justin Tucker, who never misses, getting ready for a field goal. But Lamar Jackson said, why don't you take a seat, big guy, because I'm going to find my big guy. And how about that play to Mark Andrews? Just like that, 14-6, Tommy.
What an incredible throw as you watch Jackson step up in the pocket. He feels the pressure. Once he stepped up in the pocket, he was able to deliver the ball over the top.
So very quickly, the Browns were leading, but now down 14-6. Lamar Jackson scrambled, and then whoop! And so we go from whoop, and then later in the drive, we take out the W and the H, and we go, oops. What trickery, like the Harlem Globetrotters, right? It's another first down, and a heads-up play to first down. Ravens now on 2nd and 8. Look at this. Ingram block.
Yeah, he drops the ball. Creates some of the best plays, improvisation by Lamar Jackson.
Well, when you can do that. And now, Baker Mayfield watching on as Jackson. Mark Ingram at the 6, and he's hit very quickly 21-6. Baltimore, it's like they turned the car on, Tom, and now they're driving in the passing lane. No pun intended. 24-9. Mayfield, Odell Beckham. Browns a little life. 3-yard touchdown. And down 9, they went for 2. I'll never understand it. I don't care what kind of math you're doing. It makes no sense. Under 4 to go, it's 24-15 rather than could have been one score. But in the end, the Ravens get their justice on their earlier loss to the Browns when Justice Hill, 18 yards. They go on to win 31-15. Look at coach and quarterback. Coach Harbaugh, well, different shot I was looking for. But at any rate, the Ravens have clinched everything. Doesn't matter what they do next week against Pittsburgh as far as home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're the number 1 seed. The Baltimore Ravens have won their 11th in a row. They are 13-2. Cleveland bounced out. The Ravens, after that sluggish start, had almost 500 yards in total offense and ran for 243. Lamar Jackson, another 100-yard game running.
13-2, that's dope. We got a great group of guys. I'm happy right now. I'm started. We're gonna celebrate on the plane probably, but I'm just happy. We got a great ride going on right now. We just got to keep it going. You know, we want to get to the Super Bowl. This is not a Super Bowl game.
How many interceptions did he have for the season? 6. 36-6. Man, what more do you need to say? It's amazing. It's tremendous. It's one of the best. Yeah. Should I say it?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go on.
Marshall? It's not bad for a running back.
Oh, they should have fun. Congratulations, Coach Harbs. You've got a heck of a thing going. Now, Le'Veon Bell former Steeler wearing Steeler colors as a Jet because half the crowd was Steelers, but it's at the Jet. Steelers control their own destiny. They're going to win their last 2 games. But Sam Darnold to Robbie Anderson of the Jets, and they've done a lot of this year, Tom.
Yeah, great grab at the back of the end zone over 2 defenders, and you see how pleased Fireman Ed is.
Fireman Ed fired up. 7-0 Jet. Duck Hodges. Well, he had a rough game, 2 in a row. Marcus May, nice play, Jets. And Duck gets pulled from the game. Hunting season over. 36 seconds left in the half. Look out. What did you say?
What?
TJ, what? He forced more fumbles than anybody.
Great job of getting around the corner and punching the ball out. And you see how he celebrates.
And look, with 9 seconds left in that, at Christmas time, you would think Mason Rudolph, yes, his nose is bright. Deontay Johnson, it's a touchdown. Here come the Steelers.
Yeah, great grab, 9 route. Just get to the back of the end zone. Good delivery of the football.
And that changes everything with the Watt play. And we're tied at 10 with the Mason Rudolph touchdown pass. Now, third quarter. Darnold, little toss to Trevon Wesco. Go West, young man. And he goes 32 yards, sets up a Jets field goal, 13-10. Under third quarter. Rudolph, stepped on after the snap. And you know he's had the concussion problems, and you see it, Tom.
Yeah, tried to get up, and you see how hard he went down on that left shoulder.
Leaves the game with an injury, so Rudolph is out, and they needed Donnan and Blitzen right now, but they get the duck. So, low snap. James Washington had a shot. The Jets back there to play defense.
Yeah, great job of breaking up the pass at the back of the end zone. The Jets played hard.
Under a minute to go, one more play. Tough snap again, Hodges. The Juju Smith-Schuster? No. Right through the hands.
He actually gave him a chance to catch the ball. He just couldn't focus on it with his eyes. You see how frustrated the Steelers are.
Well, this is strange. Hines Ward on the Jets coaching staff gets a Gatorade bath or a water bath when they beat the Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, wearing a Steeler-colored jacket, said he would sign all the Steeler terrible towels. Hey, look, the Jets, the first news, the Jets, they beat Dallas, Oakland, and Pittsburgh, yet they lost the teams that didn't have a win, Cincinnati and Miami. An odd year for them. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have done a lot with not very much left on the roster, they fall to 8-7, no longer control their own destiny for Mike Tomlin.
You know, not a lot to say, and appropriately so. It's just the time of year it is. It's put up or shut up time, and we didn't get the job done today. We accept responsibility for that.
We're done worrying about what other people are doing. I think it's time to focus, and it's been this whole season just to focus on us and to figure stuff out and find ways to win football games. And I'm proud of some of the things we've been able to do, but it's not enough. And we got to go back at the film and get those things corrected as quickly as possible and move on.
Well, so the Steelers, real quick on them, I mean, we don't know what Baltimore's going to play like next week. That's the game. Could be RG3 for the whole time, but Baltimore's won 11 in a row. Pittsburgh's come a long way, but they're just kind of tiptoeing at they were the 6th spot.
Well, the term people use, they're still in the hunt, but I don't think that we envision the Pittsburgh Steelers, even if they were to get into the playoffs, making some long run. I think the team that we really want to talk about is the Baltimore Ravens, and I think that they were victims of human nature. They had won 10 games in a row. They had 12 Pro Bowlers named. They had 10 days off. Their quarterback likely has wrapped up the MVP of the National Football League. It took them 28 minutes to get into the game, and then they put up almost 500 yards of offense and ran for over 240. That's what you'll be dealing with when you have to go to Baltimore and play football in the playoffs.
There was a 3-minute span there, Tommy, when Ingram and Andrews got hurt, and we'll see how they are, but now they have a game and a bye, right?
Yes, can use the time off. You play the guys who can play, but the guys who need the rest, you give it to them.
Well, you can't win 15 in a row, which is what it would be if they kept winning to win the Super Bowl without winning the first 11.
That is correct.
That's just math for those of you at home. Meanwhile, the Saints off that Monday night brilliance, 29 of 30, Drew Brees. Now, look, they have a great road record on grass. You sometimes wonder. And the Saints got a kind of a slow start in Nashville against the Titans. And look at this, the little pitch to number 11, A.J. Brown. You don't wear number 11 if you're not fast, Tom. He took go all the way, 14-0 Tennessee. Now it's 14-3 second quarter. And at times, all those years with Breeze and Jimmy Graham, right, tight end with Jared Cook, one of the best receiving tight end. Makes the man miss. And then gets the block downfield from Kamara, and it's 14-10. Beautiful play.
Yeah, Breeze communicating with his line and his receivers, getting low to make the signal, and then finds Cook wide open on the play, and Kamara
Yep.
making a great block downfield to get him into the end zone.
Well, you know what Drew and Sean Payton say? You're going to block like that, we're going to give you this ball. And by the way, he's fast, in case you didn't know it. Just like that, 40-yard touchdown. He hadn't had a touchdown since September. That's hard to believe. Saints lead 17-14. Breeze to Michael Thomas. It's a broken record all year long. This young man and this quarterback, wow. That sets up Kamara up the middle. And now we didn't have a touchdown since September. Now we get two. And 24-14. Kamara at 80 yards. Ryan Tannehill. Tennessee's been good with him. To Tajay Sharp from
UMass.
the Minutemen. And he's in the end zone in under a minute. Look at this play.
Well, Tannehill gets the defense to shift for the Saints by rolling to his right and then throwing back to his left. That's an outstanding play.
And at 24-21, New Orleans. This is a fun game to watch. Breeze. And Taysom Hill is in the game. And not only is he in the game, he's in the red zone. First down, Saints. Breeze, play action. Jared Cook. Oh, can you textbook it any better?
Well, and he fitted in such a tight spot to get that score.
31-21 fourth quarter, but here comes Tannehill looking for the Minuteman. Tajay Sharp from
UMass.
Still from UMass. They're trailing 31-28. 6 minutes to go in the game. Saint, Taysom Hill. Now he's quarterback. He's going to throw to Thomas. At this point, Thomas has 143 catches on the season, tying the record of Marvin Harrison's single season. Breeze, Thomas, he's got the record. Does he have a touchdown? First they said in, we took a look.
And you can see right there the knee is likely down just before he got in.
But you know what? He has the record, and Breeze said, we're not going to give you a record on a ball down to the one flying. We're going to give you a record on a touchdown. Breeze record last week, Monday night, to Thomas. Congratulations to him. The record by Marvin Harrison back in 2002. Thomas got 12 for 136. Despite New Orleans ups their mark to 12-3. Despite the loss, they fall to 8-7, but Tennessee controls their destiny. They win at Houston next week. They will be in the 6th spot. Pittsburgh and Oakland, who's still alive, need them to lose. We're going to go to some of the Saturday games just because, hey, look, Christmas shopping, malls, things take a long time, right? So maybe you didn't see all of it, and it all kind of lays into where we're going in the final week of the season. The Texans at the Bucs. Texans trying to win the AFC South for the 4th time in 5 years. For the 4th time this season, on the very first pass he's thrown in the game, Jameis Winston is picked off. Bradley Roby. This is 6 pick sixers. That's impossible.
And Bradley Roby makes a great break on the football, but obviously Jameis Winston threw the ball pretty darn late.
6 times this season, tying Peyton Manning, young Peyton, and Rudy Bukich. Bears in the 60s, but Winston not done. Justin Reed, another pick 6. Oh, my, well, wait a minute. They're going to call it back, a blindside block. So it's a pick, but not a touchdown.
Well, and Reed, again, they're following Jameis Winston's eyes. Reed follows the ball, and he makes a great pick that would have been a pick 6.
And Texans get a field goal, 10-0. Now they're up 17-10, but just so you know that Winston's not the only one doing it. Deshaun Watson to Jamel Dean. You know, sometimes Houston can look out of sorts on offense. They do that at times, and despite the fact that they have games like when they beat the Patriots, and in fact, they beat the Chiefs. Winston. You said, you know what? The guy's in the red. Yeah. Ishmael Hyman, 31 yards. Then, 3rd and goal, Winston to just-in-time Watson. 8-yard touch, and we're tied at 17.
And you know, he throws those picks, and then he can throw a ball like this that he fits in a space the size of a bread box for a touchdown.
Right, a bread box. Now we're dating ourselves. 20 all. 4th quarter, 10 minutes left. Deshaun Watson to DeAndre Carter. That's a good tackle there, setting up a field goal, 23-20. 4th and 3, Bucs. Trail by 3. 3.5 to go. Normally sure-handed from Harvard, Cameron Brate. Can't get it.
There's a good throw right on his hands.
Well, Texans 3 and out, so Tampa Bay not done in the new sombrero. But what do you think could happen? What could happen, Tom? That, right?
Well, and boom, when we talked during the game, or when I text you during the game, I told you that absolutely this was the most egregious throw he made during the course of the game, almost a carbon copy of the first throw that he made in the game.
Hard to be a third. I mean, look, we said you that you buy a ticket. And by the way, Houston's celebrating, and congratulations to Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans, who are the 4. They could be the 3 seed. They win 23-20. They've won their division for the 4th time in 5 years. Houston is 10-5 for Jameis. He's 30-30. 30 touchdown passes plus and 30 turnovers. Not quite yet picked. That's hard to do. But buy a ticket. He's fun. Boy, the Saturday games were fun, weren't they? Bills at the Patriots. Buffalo played so hard on the Sunday night, beating Pittsburgh 6 days later at New England. Josh Allen trying to keep their hopes alive in the division against the the great Tom Brady. Dawson Knox, 16 seconds to go in the half. Knox ruled out to the chagrin of Sean McDermott at the 1 out of nowhere. And there's not the cone of silence. We're showing Deion Dawkins, offensive tackle eligible. Trickery Bill.
And oftentimes when these guys report, the official comes to tell you, and defensive guys just do not hear it. You get the roll right by Allen, and you get Deion Dawkins wide open on the left side of the end zone.
And we're tied at 10 going to half. The Bills have trouble, but then they use those plays. Now, Brady, Ben Watson, that's Julian Edelman laid out, and nobody plays harder than little big man. Here it was, and he did it. Flagged and knocked down.
They call that a pick. You've got Edelman running into the defender, but you don't want to pick like that. You don't want to take that into the pick.
So he was gone for a quarter, and you saw that the Patriots had trouble moving the ball off and said, look, John Brown from Allen, 53 yards, again out of nowhere, and Gilmore and McCourty beaten. You never say that this year.
Stephon Gilmore, as good a player as there is in this league, and what a great route he runs on both he and McCourty to get to really the corner of the end zone.
And they're a little nervous in Foxborough, trailing 17-13, but Edelman is back. And as soon as he comes back, where does Tom go? Bang. Julian Edelman plays with such heart, such passion. He plays like 6'8", a foot taller than him. Rex Burkhead fumbled earlier. I'm not doing it now. In the end zone, Patriots, 2-point conversion play to Edelman to give him a 7-point lead, 24-17. 4th and 1. Second time this year we've seen Josh Allen do that. Picking it up after the first third stop. What a play.
Well, great effort. And Jamie Collins ended up grabbing the face mask right there. Should have been 15 more yards. Refs didn't see it, but what great effort by Allen.
And they're down to the 10, and then a 3rd and goal. Dante Hightower and Adam Butler. So Bill Belichick and company dial up pressure, and they dial it up on 4th down, Tom. And, well, this is a throw, but couldn't get anything on it. And J.C. Jackson, your 4th cousin, knocks it down. Brady, 26-33. Edelman, great. The Bills, man, they're coming. God, they played so hard. But in the end, if you're going to dethrone New England, you got to have a little more juice. And congrats to the Patriots, who've won the AFC East for 11 straight times. I mean, we take it for such granted, but it's just so impressive. The Patriots win, home to Miami. They will be the 2 seed. We know Baltimore is 1. They lose, maybe the door open to someone else, Chiefs. So, meanwhile, Colts knocked out last week. They've been on a bad run after a nice start, despite the way the season started in August with Andrew Luck out. Jacoby Brissett said, look, let's at home against Carolina. Let me hit Marcus Johnson. I love Marcus Johnson as a basketball player. UCLA and the Bucks.
I remember
him. Well, Brissett, a 1-yard sneak. I digress because we can. We're on the phone, Tom. 7-0. This was a game Colt fans will always remember. Nyheim Hines returning a punt. He got room to run, but does he have this much room down the sideline? Nice block by Jonathan Williams, number 33. 21-3 Colts at the half. That's just exciting. Now same score. Brissett to Marlon. Mark gets a first down, but there's some trouble at the end of the play. Vernon Butler, Mark Lewinsky tangled up, and he punches the wrong guy.
Well, he punched Jack Doyle. He turned around. He didn't know who he'd actually been tied up with, and then he gives the "we're number one" sign as he walks off the field.
Now, Nyheim Hines, you saw him take the first one. There's no way it can happen again, right? Well, again, he's got a lot of room, and boy, does he feel this and make the move. Can he outrun them again? The Panthers, he could go all the way. A 71-yarder to go on top of his earlier one for 84 yards. He also had a 40-yard punt return. Way to go, special teams player playing like that. And the Colts shake and bake the Panthers 38-6. The Panthers just on a bad losing streak. Young Will Grier, the rookie, starting. No good for game number one. 3 picks, 3 sacks, nothing going offensively. And one of the proud Panthers, been at the Super Bowl with this team, been a Pro Bowler, Greg Olsen after the game.
Right now, I'm not sure what our plan is. You know, I think we want to win now, but we want to build for the future. We want to. It's just a really tough way to operate right now, and players are underperforming. I think it's right now a very collective failure, organizationally failure. And our fans deserve better. A lot of guys in this locker room deserve better. The coaches that have been around here deserve better. And it's just been an overall failure, I think, is probably the best way to put it.
You know, and he doesn't sit there and do this. It's just painful. Very respected coach Ron Rivera, of course, fired. And they're used to, well, they're used to playing championship football.
Used to playing championship football, used to being a team that's pretty buttoned up. Had one of the better quarterbacks in the league a couple of years ago. They got one of the best players in McCaffrey now in this league. But there's nothing more frustrating than losing and not understanding exactly why you're losing. And you heard Greg Olsen allude to that.
Well, the Raiders were in the race, and then they dropped several in a row looking bad doing it. But amazingly, if you do the math, this is what the Raiders, who were still alive going into their game, they needed the Steelers to lose at the Jets. Check. Colts to win at the Panthers. Check. Browns to lose one of 2 games. Check. Titans to lose to the Saints. Check. And then they're still alive, taking the field at the frozen tundra in Carson, California, where mercifully the Chargers are playing their last home game. Derek Carr, could they come back from really a horrible stretch of games? Woo. Hunter Renfrow, I'm going to throw him the ball, and Hunter Renfrow is going to go to the West. 56 yards. He missed the last 3 games, 7-0. Raiders. Late 2-minute warning, Melvin Gordon ties the game at 7, bolts. But Oakland gets the ball. And again, Derek Carr can look like this, Tom.
That's right.
He can. That's nice to Tyrell Williams, going to be a gain of 20. Gotta love those Chargers uniforms. Meanwhile, 33 seconds ago, Carr, Renfrow. Oh, those are nice moves out of bounds at the 12. And then Carr says, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to drive my car into the end zone. 14-7 at the half. Third quarter. DeAndre Washington with the Raiders at the 5. And what a surprise. He's in the end zone. Another visiting fan base takes over in the stadium with a poor Chargers play. I mean, it just... The Raiders, of course, played in Los Angeles for some years. Go on to win 24-17. They are still around. Carr, 26 of 30 for 290. Wow. Now, winner, well, kind of winner take all. 7-7 Dallas at 7-7 Philadelphia. Cowboys win. They win the NFC East. The Eagles got to win the last 2 games, starting with this one. Carson Wentz against Dak Prescott. And early on, first quarter, Miles, so he can see for Miles, 29 yards down to the 10. Eagles, red zone. Now, how can a guy named Dallas score a touchdown for Philadelphia against Dallas, but that's Dallas Goedert. Nice play.
Great catch at the back of the end zone, and Wentz delivering the football exactly where he needed to be, up high, give your guy a chance to make that catch.
And this is what Philadelphia had to do. Go out and take it to Dallas, get a lead 10-0. Ezekiel Elliott down 10-6, but he hits his head on the ground after an 8-yard run and signals I got to sub out. Didn't run him enough early. Tony Pollard. Uh-oh, it's a fumble. Ball's out, Tom. There it is.
And right there, ground. You see it on the ground.
No. Now 5 minutes left in the third. Dallas another chance. Prescott, they just rush 4. And that's over the head of Amari Cooper. Missed him. And
those are the throws that you don't understand when Dak Prescott sometimes misses that. That's wide open.
To the Cowboys punt. Now late third. You know, the Eagles not doing a lot offensively either, except they get back into it here to Greg Ward. 38 yards in the red zone. Now down to the 1, 3rd and goal. Sanders in there. Jerry Jones, really? 17-6 Eagles. 9 minutes to go in the game. 4th and 9 Dallas. Prescott, Randall Cobb, nice. Dallas kicks a field goal, only field goal, 17-9. Then 2 minutes to go. Vinny Curry with a sack. Some of the names you remember on that front wall, Philly. 4th and 8. Cooper on the sideline. Prescott to Gallup. It's a good play by Sidney Jones.
Yeah, Sidney Jones, great job of looking back for the football. Most DBs, when they get those interference calls, they are running. They never turn their heads. Does a great job of turning around, looking for the ball.
And the jury says, I've seen it. And 3rd and 2. Yes, there's the first down. And Philly, there's the first down and more. And safe. 38 yards. And the Eagles, they fly. Eagles fly for Doug Peterson. It's not pretty, but they're the ones who are 8-7. The Cowboys fall to 7-8. The Eagles at the Giants next week. The Cowboys play the Redskins, but the Eagles win. They will win the division and be the number 4 seed. If that happens, one Dallas owner won't be very happy.
It's very disappointing. We all expected to leave here as the NFC's champs. We're not. We just go to Washington, but this is we let them really get in, do the things they played well. Wentz played well, as you all can assess for yourself. But that's about it. I don't have a lot to say about anything else.
What are the emotions in this moment?
Just pissed. Pissed we didn't go out there and get it done.
13 for 147 for LA. Dallas comes out and looks, I don't know. It's a big game. Look, Philly didn't have, as bad as Dallas looked for a while, Tom, they only gave up 10 points, so they're in the game and they couldn't get anything going.
In a game that was 10-6 for much of the time.
Right.
Ezekiel Elliott ends up with 13 carries for 47 yards. Last week in a dominating win, he got 20-plus carries. That's the formula, which makes Dak Prescott a lot more comfortable throwing the football, creates some rest for their defense, and you can't understand why it is they would go away from that, and they have consistently for a large part of this season. And for Philadelphia, give Carson Wentz and company credit because he doesn't have the great supporting cast around him. The defense is good. Fletcher, led by Fletcher Cox, you have a guy like that in the middle, you're going to be a dominant line. But yes, the big question is why the Dallas Cowboys effectively don't have a game plan that fits around Ezekiel Elliott all the time.
And Philly, to your point, Tom, that the defense, that is where they are less injured, at least up front.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right? And
that's correct.
So the Eagles have the upper hand now in that NFC East, and they, after all of this, they could be they could be 9-7 right now. How about this game Saturday? Niners, Rams just, look. You don't know what the Rams. They blow out the Seahawks, then they look terrible against Dallas. But I'll tell you what, they came into, Santa Clara, and they came out firing. Jared Goff, Brandon Cooks. First quarter, they hadn't thrown a touchdown pass all year? Rams led 7-0. I know this is Saturday, but boy, this was a fun game. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jalen Ramsey with the pick. He hadn't had one in a year, but a lot of teams don't throw at him. He knows what he's doing.
Well, November 2018 was his last pick. A great job of getting up and making a pick. And then they always tell you, run to the near sideline. Jalen tried to get to the far sideline.
And so, now Goff on the move again. Robert Woods, 29-yard game. And, you know, a lot of the season, he's not been the Todd Gurley, but when he does that, he churns it up. No one touches him. 14-3 Rams. Gurley, from the one, you're just not stopping him. I'm sorry. It's 21-10 Rams. Under a minute to go in the half. Oh. This changed it. What a nice player Fred Warner is, number 54. Goff not thrilled. Warner winded. Give me the oxygen. Niners lead 24-21. Pick six in that spot, Tom. Now, third quarter. Goff. Undeterred. That's nice to Woods. 26-yard gain. 3rd and 6 from the 22. Goff. Cooper Kupp. At times, they look like the team that represented the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Beautiful throw.
Rams lead 28-24. 9 minutes to go. Gronk Jr. That would be George Kittle. Jimmy G to the big G. George, Ma, and Pa Kittle. Get out of my way. Down at the 4, gain of 36 yards. Garoppolo. 3rd and goal. Rolling. Who are you looking for? It's Kittle. 31-28 with 6 minutes to go. The Rams not done. Marcel Harris could have ended it. Well, not ended it, but with 3.5 to go, couldn't get the pick. Rams survive. Zerline kicks a 52-yarder. We're tied at 31. 3rd and 16. There's one 3rd and 16 to Kendrick Bourne. On another 3rd and 16, would it be Bourne again? Or would it be Emmanuel Sanders? Oh, it's 46 yards. And that trots out like in the New Orleans game after the late rush. But the Niners are doing this all with like 5 seconds to go, right? Robbie, solid goal. Field goal. Good. 33 yards. Sean McVay, Rams out of the playoffs. Niners. Wow. They are 12-3 with their game next Sunday night at Seattle. All those 3rd and 16s and the Niners. So the Seahawks played Sunday afternoon against Arizona. Now, through the years, certainly when Arians was there, Arizona went into Seattle. It was, right, Tom, you noticed it.
Yes, absolutely.
Home and home.
Well, nine of the last 11 won by the road team.
Yeah, but certainly not this one. I mean, come on. Kyler Murray to Pharaoh Cooper. Tricky Cardinals. Then Murray, you know he can scoot. Whoop, safe. 17 yards. Cardinals. Murray, look at this for the young. They won last week, so they're feeling it. Larry, you take it. Larry Fitzgerald says, okay, runs right through KJ Wright, 14-7. Cards, 3rd quarter. Nice pass by Wilson to Jones or Russell, but Moore is the David Moore. He's stripped by Jones. Jordan Hicks at the Seahawks 34-yard line. Arizona came to play. You got to give them credit. Murray. You think he's fast? Yeah. Out of bounds. Uh-oh. Now, talking to the trainer. Let's see. Hamstring injury. And Cardinals. They warm up Hundley. And Seahawks special teams. Rasheem Green blocks it. Marquise Blair, the safety, picks it up, and they're in business down to the 15, but they only get a field goal out of it. They too can look sluggish out of nowhere. 20-13 game. Arizona leading. So Kenyon Drake at 4 touchdowns a week ago, he sew it up. 27-13. And then, when you think, okay, It's Chandler Jones. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Ball bouncing around. Seahawks get it, but they lose 18. And then on fourth down, Wilson. Looking for Tyler Lockett. But Arizona has that skunked. Look, good job by them. Another team that, their season's over. No, it's not. They go into Seattle and beat the playoff-bound Seahawks impressively. No other way to say it. 27-13. And the Seahawks just can look sluggish. However, home Sunday night to San Francisco, even though they trail them by a game, if they win the division and maybe a top seed because they would have swept San Francisco. San Francisco goes in and wins. They could be 1, they could be 2. We got a lot to discuss. Meanwhile, down the list, Jags, Falcons. Yeah, they played. But you got to give Dan Quinn's squad, since the bye, they played hard football. Looking more like the team we thought.
Yes.
Devonta Freeman. They like their coach. They're trying at 7-0. Michael Walker. And they're trying for the Jags. I mean, why not? They broke a long losing streak last week. But it's a fumble. And there you go. Keith Smith knocks it out.
Yeah, these guys are so good at finding that football when somebody has when the runner has it, and Keith Smith does a great job there of getting the ball out.
So Matt Ryan, Freeman, second score, 14-0 Falcons. Jacksonville, and our buddy Gardner Minshew, no sneezes yet, didn't even get the game yet. They're down 14-0. Now 17-6. Now you can never get tired of this. Julio Jones passes Jerry Rice as the fastest man ever to 12,000 receiving yards. He did it in 125 games. Jerry in 142. Hello. And Quadri Olsen punches it in. Falcons. In a laugher, Jones caught 10 for 166. And a big day for Matt Ryan as well. And so Atlanta, they're 6-9, 5-2 since the break. Ryan almost 400 yards. Broncos, Tom, making a late run. Home to the Lions. Drew Lock, third start. Rookie, Missouri. Jamal Agnew, part of the silent majority. In the open field. He's not going to get him. He's gone. 64-yard punt return. And it's 10-0 Lions? David Snowblow to Kenny, and you figured, happy Galladay. And perfect that he would score Christmas week.
Yeah, Galladay loses the ball at the end, but he made sure it crossed the plane before he did that.
17-13 Lions. Philip Lindsay had a 100-yard game. He runs hard, Tom. I know you like him. First down on 4th and 1 with a minute to go, late third. Deshaun Hamilton, a little pitch from Locke, and the Broncos lead 20-17. 7 minutes left. Lindsay, there's a hole. Look at those moves. He runs hard. 27-yard touchdown. And Locke has won 3 of his first 4 starts as first rookie to do that for the Broncos. And you've had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, we had one wearing number 7 that
he was okay.
Pretty good.
27-17, Broncos win their 6-9. Now, at the bottom of the barrel came the day's best games. All the games that involved the draft picks were great. Giants, Redskins, Saquon Barkley. Think he's any good? Well, you already know this. 67 yards. Bang! In the end zone. Giants up 14-7 in Washington. There were no incomplete passes in the first quarter. Daniel Jones back in. Dwayne Haskins playing. Dale Hedges finds him. Nice. 14-all. We didn't expect to watch much of this game, right, Tom? But we did. Daniel Jones. Barkley. Oh, wow. And he gives Giant fan in the crowd, why don't you take it? Nice. 21-14. G-Man. Now third quarter. Marcus Golden bringing the pass rush. Here he comes. Haskins can't get out. And Haskins remains on the ground. he would depart.
Be carted off.
Yeah, you don't want to see it. And so Case Keenum warming up. Keenum in, and he was more than warm. Steven Sims Jr. Keenum, a good professional quarterback. We like him. 28-21, the Giants lead down to 7. Now back up 35-21, but Nate Orchard comes in to block the punt. Nate Orchard, to the chagrin of Pat Shurmur. I don't know if it's Apple Orchard or Peach Orchard, whatever he did it. And Adrian Peterson, history, passes the late, great Walter Payton for his 111th rushing touchdown of his career, 4th all time. Keenum, Sims, 32-yard completion. Redskins down 35-28, moving the change. 3rd and 5, 3 minutes. Keenum stumbles, moving, hedges, diving. Here come the Redskins. 4th and goal from the 3, 41 seconds left, down a touch. It is incomplete, but Corey Ballantyne called for a flag.
Yeah, Keenum running around the edge here. Gonna roll out.
And now Case is gonna roll it. And he fumbles. Now he can't, only he can recover it, otherwise it's the holy roller rule. But they take a look, and he was across the goal line. Agree, Tom?
He crossed the goal line, or at least reached the plane.
And now, overtime. Nobody defer, please. The Giants win. The toss, and the Giants are about to win the game. Barkley out at the 3. Daniel Jones' 5th touchdown pass of the day to Smith. Caden Smith, and the Giants win at 41-35. Must tell you that Saquon Barkley, 279 total yards from scrimmage. The Giants have been around since the 20s, breaking the team mark that was held by Tiki Barber. Now even a, quote, lower game went 70 minutes. Bengals at Dolphins. Fitzy. Are those Raider fans really? Like, what? Did they get lost? Fitzy. The defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins. It's a fumble, but Wilkins, the big guy, has presence of mind.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins makes this play. Ball knocked out just before he crossed the goal line, but he recovers it himself for the touchdown.
And so, Dolphins lead 7-0. Fitzy. What a year he's had, Tom. He's fun to watch. Mike Gesicki opened for a touchdown. 252 yards passing in the first half for Fitzy. That's the most since Dan Marino in his record-breaking 1984 season. Myles Gaskin's in there. He gives the ball to the referee. Whoa. Look at what Fitzy does for the youngster.
Fitzpatrick knows how to stay close to his squad. I need that ball. I'm taking it from you. I'm giving it to him.
It's my first touchdown. Miami's up in a laugh for 35-12. They lead by 23. But now, 35-19, Andy Dalton, Tyler Boyd. They're down 16, Tom. Ooh, it's close, but he's in.
Yeah.
So they got to go for 2. Most dependable Bengal is Tyler Eifert. There he is. 2-point conversion, 35-27. And if you want to see a picture-perfect onside kick, here it is by Randy Bullock.
It takes the big hop right at the end so that you have a chance to field it. And they didn't block the guys who were coming at the ball.
And the Bengals, of all things, down 23 in the 4th quarter. The Bengals have a chance. 4 seconds to go. The Red Rifle. Dalton. Tom, what do they do? Tyler Eifert comes down with it.
First of all, you want to be in front of the receiver. You want to be able to knock the ball down. You've got 4 guys standing behind Eifert. He goes up and makes a great grab for his quarterback.
So now, to the chagrin of Brian Flores, but they got to go for 2 or else Miami still wins after all this. Dalton, really? He's going to take it himself. We are going to overtime. Oh, my goodness gracious. There were 5 possessions in overtime. Miami had the 5th possession. 2.5 minutes ago, Fitzy to Gesicki. Jason Sanders, he's been a hero this year. Fitzy to Isaiah Ford. He's a Mustang. Big game. Field goal range. And they run it all the way down to the final seconds. Either we win, but we don't lose. 37-yard field goal, Jason Sanders. He had 7 in the game. Kick up. Good. Both Dolphin fans who stayed in the end zone thrilled. And the Dolphins beat the Bengals 38-35. just a nice scene. Bengals, quote, clinched the number one. They're on the clock. The number one overall draft pick, and Miami wins the game. And, Tom, we should say hats off. We saw those exciting games. In October, sports shows they should tank.
Yeah.
No, that's not the point. These teams have played hard all year. They're just not as good.
Well, and if you think about what we saw today, whether it was Atlanta or Arizona or the Jets, all of these teams play hard. Cincy, even in a losing effort, they're not worried about the draft pick. How can we get the number one pick, the number two pick in the draft? They're worried about winning football games. And I want people to know, you don't get to this level of play, professional football, without having the character to go out and want to win games, and that's first and foremost in your mind.
Well, look, the reality is rosters now change a fourth to a third every year, especially teams that aren't so good. And a lot of these guys wouldn't even be on the team that let's lose so we get a better pick.
Right.
They're not on that team.
That's right. They'd be gone.
One other food for thought. We saw it at a lot of the games. I know it's Christmas week and all. The league is talking about going to more games, to 17 and a 19 game. All I want to say is, did you see some of the crowds? So if you're going to play regular season games in January,
that's right,
and your team is 4-12 with 2 left, are you going out on January 10th? League ought to think about that. Empty stadium playing games
pretty
in January.
Sparse crowd.
Just a little food for thought. I want to put it in the stocking.
Yeah.
We're trying to help here at NFL Primetime, as is our man Scott Van Pelt, who has his eye on the Sunday game, the Chiefs in Chicago. Scotty, happy holidays.
Boomer, thank you, and thanks so much for stopping by to be the first to wish us a Happy New Year. For the Sunday night game in Chicago, the Kansas City Chiefs were able to grab a victory thanks to the man on the left, and obviously Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky are linked in that first round of the 2017 draft. You see the advantages for Mahomes are the passing yards and the touchdown, but putting ketchup on steak and hot dogs, according to some, not so great. I'm a big believer in live and let live, although I don't put ketchup on steak or hot dogs. Terrell Suggs, new man in town, doesn't get to Trubisky, but his pressure helps corral the quarterback for the Bears. The 17-year vet, of course, came over from Arizona off waivers. The Chiefs' defense has been really, really something else these last 4 or 5 games. Speaking of something else, it's 3rd and 18, and you got that guy who's got a hand cannon. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill drive continues. 3rd and 5. Mahomes was fantastic on 3rd down throughout the game, throwing it here. He'll tuck it and run. First drive, it's 7-0. Chiefs, and that jersey is still clean. 10-0. Last minute of the first half, touchdown to Travis Kelce. And you'll see him counting. What's he doing? Oh, nothing. Just counting to 10, as in I got picked 10th. You guys could have taken me, but you traded up to draft the other guy. Early 4th, Mahomes scrambling and finding Spencer Ware back in another tour of duty in this Chiefs backfield. 3rd and 8 throw. Finds Ware out of the backfield, first down. Another 3rd and 8 throw. 10 minutes to go in the 4th. Damian Williams takes it in. They'd missed the extra point, but tack on a field goal. Mahomes was 6 of 9, 91 yards and a touchdown on 3rd down. That's the money down. Santa might be late. Your house, he's busy eating treats at Soldier Field. Bears will finish out the season taking on the Vikings on the road, and the Chiefs, with seeding still up for grabs, host the Chargers. Final week of the year at Arrowhead. Happy holidays, fellas.
Packers and Vikings in a rivalry showdown in a division-determining game. And in this rivalry, this was only the 2nd time they have met up in the regular season, with both teams at 10 or more wins. The narrative coming in, Kirk Cousins struggles in these primetime spots, 0-8 record coming in on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers had won 5 straight Monday Nighters. But it started off all Vikings. Aaron Jones, the fumble forced by Anthony Barr, and that would lead to a field goal. Then, a rarity, Aaron Rodgers picked off by Anthony Harris.
Story of the first half, turnovers by the Packers, keeping the Vikings and giving them great field position.
3 first-half turnovers. Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs, 21-yard touchdown, 10-3 Vikes.
Probably the best throw Kirk Cousins threw all night. They needed more of this, but they didn't get it.
Packers couldn't get out of their own way. Even when things went well, Davante Adams, the fumble.
Great play by Harrison Smith, sitting back in the zone, coming up, making a play. Story of the first half, again, more turnovers.
So it was 10-9 Minnesota, and yet they only had 2 first downs in the first half. Kirk Cousins, rough night. Kevin King, the pickoff.
He got fooled. He thought he had a middle field open. It was closed. Safety was there. Pick, probably his worst throw.
The run game took over for Green Bay. This to take the lead, Aaron Jones.
Offensive line, blocking on the perimeter. He's not a big guy. You want to get him to the outside, and boy, did they.
2-point conversion. Rodgers, Geronimo Allison, a touchdown lead. And when they had to have it, they handed it off to Jones, and he made magic.
Just a really good block by 83, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Aaron Jones did the rest.
The big story of the night would be the Packers defense shutting down Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. Zadarius Smith, 3.5 sacks.
The Vikings offensive line could not block the Packers front, and Zadarius Smith, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, they were outstanding.
7 first downs for Minnesota. 7. That's it. Fewest they've had in a home game since 1971. So I ask this. Do you trust this Packers team now? Do you think of them a little differently as a true Super Bowl contender as they head to the postseason as a division champ?
Yes, I do. They turned the football over, and they still won handily on the road against a really good team because of that defense. I trust that defense. Zadarius Smith, defensive coordinator Mike Pettin, outstanding job. They're going to be a tough outcome January.
They sweep the season series against Minnesota. They do it here 23-10.
Fellas, thank you so much, and thank you for all you're doing this, and happy holidays to you and your families. Tom, we've never seen this. As we speak, and of course we do the show on Sunday night. San Francisco 12-3, New Orleans 12-3, Green Bay playing Monday night 11-3. Seattle is 11-4, got a game left, obviously. Minnesota 2 games left, 10-4. Point is, 5 NFC teams could win 12 games, and if that's the case, possible the number 6 seed could be 12-4, which has never happened. The highest 6 seed has been 11-5. Speaks to how good the top
NFC. The NFC is loaded from top to bottom as far as the playoffs are concerned. And depending on how you play at the end of the season, that seeding now becomes so important because some of these teams have a distinct advantage if they're able to play at home.
And as bad as the loss was for Seattle, by the way, Pete Carroll saying that Chris Carson and C.J. Prosise, backs 1 and 2, and they like to run the ball, out for the season. Not the kind of news they need.
And yet a team that could really benefit from being able to play at home in Seattle.
Yes, at home and get by. They play San Francisco. Look, there's a lot of stuff coming, but you know what comes first? Santa Claus is coming to town. So, again, a happy Hanukkah to those, and a Merry Christmas to all, and to you.
Merry Christmas.
Your family, Tom. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.